Welcome to the BISP Solutions. My name is Anjali. So today we will be discussing about managing rules in the PCMCS application. So in the previous session we have seen how we can prepare the allocation as well as custom rules. So let's see some more rules, like how we can use these rules for the sake of getting the correct allocation, because whenever we need to calculate the correct profitability, the allocation of expenses and overheads are very important thing. So for that reason we are basically preparing these rules so that we can get the exact allocation. So before that, let's see what kind of scenario could be there. So I have prepared few scenarios, like in this particular scenario there are few entities I have taken already. First one is the corporate entity, and this particular corporate entity, first I am going to create the custom rule so that 10% adjustment will be done in the particular corporate entity. So we just need to input the data, then 10% of that is 300 when we run the rule. So this 300 will be available in the adjustment in column. Okay, then after that when you run the rule, second rule, first one is the custom rule. So the custom rule is for the adjustment, and then the second rule we will run here, that is allocation rule. So allocation will be done like this: particular input 3000 plus adjustment of 300 will become 3300, and that particular 3300 will be divided among different entities in the event distribution. So you can clearly see we are getting 3300 in this way. So we need to run the rule 2 times. So this is first scenario. Now let's discuss some more scenarios what could be possible here. So another example is you can prepare a departmental cost allocation, or you can run multiple rules together. In the previous session I've shown you how you can run a single rule, but if you want to run the multiple rules, then we need to define the sequence number of the rule. So if we see the departmental cost allocation, so a company has 2 departments. This particular example I have prepared. So a company has 2 departments, sales and marketing. The company incurs a total of $1 lakh in overhead cost. So basically company incur 1 lakh cost which needs to be allocated to each department, because this 1 lakh is the total, and we need to identify which departments needs to pay how much money for the departmental expense. So basically there are sales and marketing. This 1 lakh we need to allocate. Now we need which need to be allocated to each department, and the allocation basis is the number of employees in each department. So every time we allocate any kind of expenses or overheads, there must be a basis, like on which basis you want to allocate something. So there is number of employees we are taking for the allocation basis. So sales and marketing, suppose 20 employees are there in the sales department and 10 employees are there in the marketing department. So if we calculate what percentage could be the allocation percentage, so 20 divided by total is 30. So this could be 66.66, or you can say 66.70%. Similarly, second, if I need to see this for the marketing, so it will be 10 divided by total, that is 30. So again it will be 33.33%. So now once we get the allocation percent, then 1 lakh will be divided among these percent as per these particular allocation percent. So this 66,700 will be divided from the sales, and marketing department will be 33,300. So in this way you can prepare simple cost allocation rules. Now if you want to prepare some more scenarios, so you can prepare this product cost allocation. So there is what basically this example says, that a manufacturing company produces 2 products, product X and product Y. Okay, so 2 products are there. The company incurs a total of 50,000 in machine maintenance cost. So company is basically incurring 50,000 in total. Now which need to be allocated to each product. Right now we don't know which product gets how much maintenance cost manufacture, because this is a manufacturing company, so thousands of products could be there, so there should be a basis, right? So which need to be allocated to each product. The allocation basis is the number of machine hours used by each product. So here we have just decided that machine hours will be the basis for dividing the allocation, I mean for making the allocation. So if there are 400 hours in product X and 300 hours in product Y, so again based on that we can calculate the allocation percentage. So how we can get this 57.10? This is 400 hours divided by total is 400 plus 300 is 700. So this will be 0.57 something, and if I multiply this particular with 100, so we will be getting the exact percentage of allocation. So this is 57.10%. Then secondly, if I need to see for product Y, so this is again 300 by 700, and if I need to see in a proper percent, so it will be again divided multiplied by 100. So in this way product X allocation percentage is 57.10 and product Y allocation percentage is 42.90. Alright, so based on this this particular 50,000 can be easily divided, and this is the way every time we want to calculate the exact profitability, the allocation percent calculation is very important. So how we can prepare these things in the application, this is the concern, right? Similarly, I have prepared a few more examples, like if I need to calculate the service cost allocation. So a company provides IT services to its internal departments. The IT department incurs a total of $2 lakh in salaries and benefit cost, which needs to be allocated to each department. The allocation basis is the number of IT service requests received from each department. So this is the basis here. So you can clearly see that in every example I have taken different basis, like on what basis we can divide the service cost. Because this is service cost allocation, so I have taken here the IT service request which is received from each department. So how many IT service requests are there, based on that we can divide this particular expense. Okay, IT department expense, and this expense is purely based on the salaries and benefit cost. So suppose finance department incurs 500 requests, HR department incurs 300 requests, operations incur 800, and sales incur 400 requests. Now again based on this we can clearly calculate this these percentage. How we can get 500 divided by the total of these IT service requests is 2000 multiplied by 100. So 25% will be there. Again, if I need to calculate this for second department, that is HR department, so it is 300 divided by 2000 multiplied by 100, so it is 15%. Similarly, this is 800 divided by 2000 multiplied by 100, so it is 40%. And at last 400 divided by 2000 into 100, so it will be 20%. So these are the percentages. Based on this we can simply allocate this 2 lakh. Okay, so 50,000 will be allocated to the finance department, 30,000 will be allocated to the HR department, and 80,000 will be allocated to the operations department, and 40,000 will be allocated to the sales department. So these examples illustrate different methods of cost allocations, including departmental, product and service based cost allocation. So these are my 2-3 examples separately which I have prepared, and few more scenarios I have prepared that we can definitely test in the next session, but for now let's test one example right now. Okay, so this particular departmental cost allocation I have already tested with the help of a smart view. You can see I have simply created the allocation rules where in the inside sales I have taken 20 headcount and marketing department 10 headcount, total 30 in the corporate. Okay, now based on this 20 and 10, um, this particular allocation of 1 lakh in the utilities expenses could be simply allocated. So when I run this R0022 rule, so 66 667 I got in the inside sales and 33 333 I got in the marketing department. So let's see how we can prepare the rule. Simply moving towards the application. Yes, so this is the application from where you can prepare. Go to the rules. So you can see that year period scenario is already selected, and under this we will be preparing one rule set, and I'm going to give it a name of departmental cost allocation. We can give a description. For now I'm not giving any description, or you can give it because the name itself suggests it is a departmental cost allocation. And here I can just describe the sequence. Right now we have 9 rule sets, so I'm giving it a number 10. I want to be it enabled so that we can run this rule without any problem. And I don't want to use the global context, so let's decide the context as well. So in the account I want to take the head counts. Let me check the head count number. Click on the account. I have opened this particular application in the different browsers so that I can just recheck the names of the members. So this is headcount number ST801102. So this I am going to select. Activity, I want to make it for global, so that is no activity I am selecting here, or you can just go with a single entity as well. Then click on the customer, no customer, or you can go with the available all customer option. Then driver, no driver. Then entity. So first one is I'm going to select here, that is corporate entity. Product, so no product we are selecting here. So this is rule set definition. We have prepared one rule set, name is departmental cost allocation. Now just select this particular rule set and prepare your rule. So this is the allocation rule. So again I'm selecting the allocation and give it a name, departmental allocation rule. This is the rule name. Here we can give the description, although it is not a mandatory thing, but let's give the description. So allocating expenses in multiple departments. Let's make it enabled, and because this is the first rule here under the departmental cost allocation rule set, so let's make it one only. Don't want to use the rule set context because here I just want to define the source and destination separately. So again I will be selecting the account. Let's take here the utility. Here we want to see the allocations. Activity, no activity. then customer, no customer, then driver, no driver, then entity. So the source entity I would like to take as a corporate entity only. Then in the destination I'll be selecting multiple entities where we want to use this different departments. No product. Go to the destination next. Yes, if you want to choose the same members, you can just click on the same as source. Yes, this is for the activity. Customer is again same. Then driver, then entity, we will be selecting separately account and entity. So destination, yeah, I think here I can select the utilities or other expense. So under the facilities I'm having the utility expense. Let's select it. This is a destination, so I think I need to change from the source. In the source I need to take the head counts, right? So let's change it later on. Okay, let's select your entity where you want to see the result. So I'm going to choose here the these entities, 5001, 6001, 7001, these entities. Here we want to see the allocations, and product is again same, and the account we have already selected. Yes, click on source once again and change your account. Here we should take the head counts, not utility expense. We need to take here the head counts basically. So my head count number is ST801102. I thought, yes. So two accounts we need to take here. One is the source, second one is the destination. And then we will be selecting the driver basis. If you want to allocate evenly, you can just specify, otherwise you can select it. In the account I would like to take here the head count, because based on the head counts we will be dividing things. So this will be the driver. Offset is again the source, offset location is source and role context. Then click on the save. Okay, once you save everything, just click on your home page and then just run your rule. So click on the calculation and again run single rule. We want to run the single rule. Department cost allocation is the rule set name, departmental cost allocation, and rule name is departmental allocation rule. Then click on run now option. So your ledger calculation job has been submitted. Now just click on the job library. So again it is coming, it has a success with wordings. Let's see, the cube has not been redeployed since the last metadata update. Number of updated cell count is 0 for rule departmental cost allocation. Run the rule data validation report to check the source and driver data. We can just save this error file and let's see if we can see this in the smart view or not. Based on the head count we need to perform this. Okay, let me just check the rule number. Refresh. Okay, first we'll pivot this rule, then pivot again, and here we'll specify the rule number as well as this is the input and this should be the allocation. Member selection. Under the net change you can get this allocation in and from here you will be selecting the roll number. Okay, go back to your rules to see the rule number. Departmental cost allocation. Okay, R0024. R0024, and this should be 0 right now. Submit data, refresh. Okay, choose the same rule, and suppose I just want to divide this. Let's see the problem statement once again. Problem statement. Okay, 1 lakh we need to divide. I just want to take the same situation, so that first one in the input head count, second in the allocation in, then we can check the net balance. Alright, so this is head count, 10 10 10 is the head count, and 50,000 is the utilities. Under the input I have just, we need to update. We can even select the no rule. Submit data. Okay, now we need to see the result under the utilities itself, or based on the head count. So we need to select again rule with utility. Refresh. Okay, I'm going to run the rule once again, and there should be one value because we have selected corporate. So based on these head counts we need to see the result, because the rule has not been successfully deployed. So let's see what is the error behind that. Okay, let's select the departmental cost allocation. It has already enabled. Sequence is 10. This is also enabled. So my source will be the head counts. So we have correctly selected. And utility is FAC 8200. This should, we need to check in the destination. So yes, this is also correct. And the entity where we want to see the allocation is these entity CC5501. Let's check that are we just taking the correct things or not. This is marketing, shipping and customer service. Or you can just take your things under the different departments as well. For now I'm just taking these departments. Alright, so we need to deploy this rule once again. See, the driver basis and everything we have already selected. When you click on account, you will be getting this driver. Based on head counts, we need to select things. Then rule context, then click on save. Again, we will be moving towards the calculation. POV is correct. Click on run now. The ledger job has been submitted. Again, go to the job library. Okay, I think there is some error in deploying the application because we are only getting the success with warnings, and this is the reason we are not getting the result. The cube has not been redeployed. Let me check if I can redeploy this. So the deploy cube job has been submitted, and let's rerun the rule. A rule has successfully deployed, but every time we run the rule we need to check the job library, and if it is success only then we can see the result. Again it is coming as success with warnings, and the warnings are, I think, saying the cube has not been redeployed since the last metadata update. Okay, let me just refresh it once again. We need to select things once again where we want to see the calculation. Allocation in. And we will be selecting the rule once again. R0024. Okay, we are not getting the result because the rule has been successfully deployed but with warnings. So let me just show you the last time I test the same thing, how you can check it. See, here I have clearly selected all the relevant POVs: no customer, no driver, January period, no product, actual 2016, and R0022, that was my rule number at that time. And when I just use head count in the input column, and again in the input I use to write the $1 lakh which I want to distribute in the allocation column. So simply 1 lakh has been distributed on these percentage, and I am getting the exact results which I want. So again we need to use the same trick. In the input column we need to write the number 50,000 or 1 lakh. So it is correct, I guess. Let's change the number once again. All entities also we need to select here. This 1 lakh should be divided based on these numbers, and we need to see the result here. Let's try to deploy it once again. Or let me relog in it. Let me check everything. R0024 is the number. Source is okay. For now I'm just changing the member selection. In the account I'm going to select the utility rather than headcount. This is the source, and in the destination this should be the head count. Oh, double accounts are selected here. Let's not select the driver this time. Then finally save everything and again go back to your rule. Actually there is no option for now. I have not seen any option for the database refresh. That's why maybe we are not getting the exact result. Something is wrong here. Application is not running properly. Click on the calculations once again. The ledger calculation job has been submitted. Then go back to the job library. Okay, again it is coming. It has a success with warnings. So I need to check it, like why we are not getting the correct deployment of application. Yes, now you can see we are getting the result here in this way. See, it is 10 10 10 and at least it is allocated in this same way, like this 1 lakh. If this particular 1 lakh I need to divide in this way, so it should be, and this is a percent multiplied by 100. So for 1 lakh it should take this much value. I mean this should be 33.33%, and if I will just calculate this percent of 1 lakh, so it should come it as 33330. So I think we are getting the result correctly, right? So it is success with warnings means sometimes we are getting the results, sometimes we are not getting the results. So we need to see the warnings, and there is only one warning, that is for the deployment, and we have already deployed the application and the rule as well. So everywhere there is a 10, so we are getting the result in this way. If you want to change the figures, so let's change it, make it 20, submit your data. See, the figures are getting changed. Click on refresh, and in the net balance you can see the additions. Okay, let's make it 50, make it 60, submit the data and see the changes here. Okay, so now you can clearly see the changes, and let's change this particular figure as 50,000, submit data and refresh. So again, every time you change the value you need to go back and run your rule once again to see the changes. again go to the job library. Again it is coming, it has a success with warnings. Normally we should get the status only success. The cube has not been redeployed. So to deploy it, click on the database, and from here you can simply click on deploy now. Although we have seen the result, but let's run it once again and then we close it. See, now the figures are changed. So if now I need to calculate it, the 20 plus 50 plus 60 plus 30, 20 divided by, sorry, we need to take only these three values, 20 plus 50 plus 60, 20 by 130 into 100. So this will be this percent, and 15.38% multiplied by 50,000. So we should be getting 7690, approximately same, because there are some rounding of figures. If we see the same thing for 50 by 130, so this multiplied by this, we should get 19230, 19280. I mean the rounding of difference, but we are getting the result exactly. The same thing if we do it for 60 divided by 130, and again multiply this with 50,000, so we are getting the result nearby, 23136, 23076. So in this way you can just allocate simply things by preparing the rules. I think this is enough for the day, and for more clarity you can just comment down over there, like www.bispsolutions.com. So I'm just ending this session. Thank you so much for attending. Bye bye.